The second kind of objection that White kept pushing, I guess I'll call the late to the game objection. And so this view is going to say that this objection is going to go, any theological or philosophical view that is late to the game in church history is suspect. Molinism didn't hit the scene until the 1500s. That's late to the game, and thus it's
Wow.
suspect. Those are the two kind of objections I want to tackle.
Okay. Well, if you don't mind, let me interject really quick. Before you tackle those objections, just a quick side note. Just last month, Dr. Kurt Jarris, who is not a Molinist, presented a paper at the ETS conference that you and I were both attending, arguing that Molina was not the first one to have divine middle knowledge in mind. In fact, he says he has discovered theologians discussing what Molina labeled as middle knowledge 1,200 years prior to Molina. So like in the 300s. So of course, Molina was the first theologian probably to be so precise and discuss logical moments and to be so philosophically thorough. But Dr. Jarris believes that the concept of what Molina nailed down, as it were, was, around this idea was around for hundreds of years prior to Molina. In fact, because of what James White said in the debate, or this late to the game objection that you raised, I contacted Kurt recently and asked him to refresh my memory about the paper that he read at the ETS. And he talks about the 4th century church father, Gregory of Nyssa, I believe his name is.
Oh, okay.
And demonstrated that he had this idea, this pre-decretive counterfactual knowledge, that God had this prevolitional knowledge. And while Kurt Jarris would note that there's no precise language of counterfactuals here, that he says the concept is certainly there. For example, that God, I think it was loosely speaking, God looks into the future that does not it does not actually take place in the actual world, and thus God's knowledge must be pre-volitional or pre-decretive because it plays into God's evaluation of how to structure the history of the universe, for example, by preventing some persons from committing heinous evils. But anyway, Dr. Jarris says that this seems to be the identical concept of Molinism as we understand it today. But again, the point is, this is 1,200 years before Molina stepped foot on the earth. That's what Kurt says. So perhaps the ideas behind Molinism are not as late to the game as White asserts. But I just wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah.
So please proceed with your tackling.
Yeah, sure. So if that's the case, I mean, that's a game changer to the late to the game objection.